Welcome to the 2021 Select Series of Virtual Customer Meetings. In this section, we are going to be discussing our Red Angus lineup. Today, joining me, we have Harold Burtz from the Red Angus Association, along with Brian House, Vice President of Beef Programs, and myself, John Herrick, that works with Red Angus Sire Acquisitions. As we open up this section, we want to discuss just a little bit of things that are going on within the Red Angus Breed Association. And so, with visiting with Harold, let's just talk about some of the happenings going on.
You bet. Thanks, John. Appreciate this opportunity to be here and visit with you folks today. We've got a lot going on at Red Angus. We've got a lot of new programs, new crossbreeding programs. Of course, our marketing programs remain very vibrant, and even though we've seen maybe we're starting to see sort of a static American cow herd, our breed continues to grow, and we're really proud of that.
The Red Angus cow tends to be a staple in our industry, and what she brings to the plate. Can you just discuss in terms of where numbers are going from the maternal side?
You bet. I think that's probably been the largest driver for our growth is the Red Angus female. I think as we study a lot of different data, we've spent a lot of time with that superior data that's compiled by Kansas State University and a project of Merck Animal Health. That data pretty clearly states that a Red Angus female in about any class, whether it be a weaned heifer, whether it be a bred heifer or a bred cow, those heifers and females are worth more than any other breed sired type. And we feel like that's a result of probably our breeders' efforts. They've really focused on those maternal traits, really spent a lot of time on those economically relevant traits that ranchers, to help their profitability, just things like stayability and heifer pregnancy and of course milk and calving ease are all big parts of that.
Yep. One of the things that we want to talk about as we've worked with selection of Red Angus sires into our program, we know there's been some changes in the indexes within the last year that the Red Angus breed has done. When we think about Herd Builder, Gridmaster, and now the new Pro index for profitability and sustainability, can you discuss those indexes and what goes into them, and especially the new one with Pro S, so our customers have a grip on that?
Sure. Yeah, happy to. When our indexes came out about 6 years ago with just Herd Builder and Gridmaster, and both of those were designed that Gridmaster had a little maternal in it, Herd Builder had a little terminal in it, so that producers could sort of use them that way. We went back and readjusted as we need to do occasionally to kind of update those for prices and those kinds of things. And we decided that probably it was time to add a true multi-purpose index, and that's where we got the Pro S. But I think it's important for your customers to know that our Gridmaster index now is all those traits beyond weaning. So yearling weight, average daily gain, our medley of carcass traits, marbling, ribeye, etc., are all part of Gridmaster, but there is no maternal in that EPD any longer. And then our Herd Builder EPD is now all the traits leading up to and through weaning. So it's all those traits that are important to the female side of the equation: heifer pregnancy, stayability, of course milk and calving ease, and those kinds of things factor into that. And then we look at our Pro S, as you said, profitability and sustainability. That Pro S index is basically those two put together. So it gives you a really quick snapshot of that bull's EPD. So as they look through your catalog, the Pro S will give you a snapshot of that entire medley of EPDs that are available. But if you have a producer that is really wanting to push the maternal side of the equation, they need to take an extra look at Herd Builder. And if they're really wanting to push the terminal side, they really need to look closely at the Gridmaster EPD.
So within Pro S, it would have approximately, 13 different traits?
Yes.
From both the maternal and terminal side.
Yeah, I think that's just about right. Yep.
To go into it. And I think as we get into the bull section and discussing the bulls later, we will highlight some of our bulls that excel for that. We think about Red Angus from your commercial marketing program. Can you discuss a little bit about that?
Sure. That's kind of the bread and butter for what I do. I work on behalf of the commercial marketing team, and very similar to the efforts that you guys do at Select Sires. Certainly it doesn't doesn't end with just getting that cow pregnant. You're working down the road to help producers market their calves, and that's what we do. We've got an entire team at Red Angus, and we're devoted to assisting that producer, whether he's marketing feeder calves at a sale barn or a video auction, or whether he's retaining ownership and they're moving those cattle through that avenue. We're certainly there to help, and that's kind of always been Red Angus's focus, and it continues to be. So would certainly like our team to have that opportunity to help producers.
I know that's been fun. I live in Nebraska, and in the Midwest we've had a couple Red Angus feeder calf sales, and to hear that listing of Red Angus calves both on the steer side and the heifer side, those calves have been commanding a pretty nice dollar for those customers at those sales.
You bet. Our feeder calf certification program is a genetic age and source program, and it's certainly been a real solid attribute for our commercial producers that utilize that program, and we really appreciate the folks that do, and it makes those sales, like you just mentioned, really, really click.
I still see that Red Angus replacement heifers, if you get a nice set of consistent Red Angus replacement heifers, they're going to do well at the upper end of the markets in the Midwest.
You bet. Right back to what we were talking about, that preferred female.
Yep. Just to kind of, before we get into the bulls and talk about our bull lineup, if a Red Angus's producer has questions, what can they do to get a hold of the association? What avenues can they go to?
You bet. They can call us direct, or probably the easiest way is to just visit us at redangus.org. And on our website there at redangus.org, we have more information about those indexes and all our EPDs. We also have more information on all our marketing programs, if our staff listing, if they need to get a hold of a particular staff member, one of us on the commercial marketing team, if they're ready to market their calves, or if they have genetic questions, they can go straight to the experts. So redangus.org is probably the best way.
It's fun to see the tools in the toolbox now with genomics and genetic selection that we can go to, not only using the traits but the indexes to help us get those bulls in the right places.
You bet. We're probably positioned as good as we've ever been.
Thanks to Harold Birch again with Red Angus for joining us today. I think we'll switch gears a little bit to talk about our Red Angus lineup. And when I look at our Red Angus lineup moving into the spring of 2021, the first thing that comes to my mind is we've got an extremely balanced yet diverse lineup of bulls to go to for our customers. And we'll talk about 4 or 5 of those bulls as we go. And I'll start off with the lead bull in our Red Angus lineup, a full-page bull in 9 Mile Franchise. A bull that I was able to see last week at the bull stud, and when you walk up to the pen, this bull just comes with you with a tremendous amount of mass. He's big topped, he's thick, and when you combine that to what he has proven himself to be for a calving ease bull, when we set out to acquire this bull, we were looking for a calving ease Red Angus bull that would offer some ribeye to go and some substance to put with that calving ease. And so by having Franchise in our lineup, not only has he proven himself for calving ease, but he's also proven that he can hold that carcass merit with the cattle and do it in a phenotype pleasing package. So I think he'll continue to be a bull that people go to hold those things together for us. I think the bull right beside him is a super exciting bull to our lineup, and I'm going to turn to Brian House to discuss Bieber stock market.
John, that was a good description of Franchise, because one thing that we watch is the sale reports, and Franchise is one of those that he gets to the top pretty often on bulls and females. So stock market is one that we're really excited about as a young bull, and we're still learning about this bull, so we rely on others sometimes to help us in that knowledge of what we need to know as people that work with the bulls and help market them. And a good friend for both John and myself, Craig Bieber, where the bull came from, has been about as high on this bull as any bull that we've worked with for the last 8 or 10 years. Craig's really high on the bull for what he does in terms of calving ease, additional growth, the look of the cattle, the traits he combines. And we talked about Pro S, Harold. That's a great way for a customer to grab a hold of a number, and without a lot of confusion, he can make some decisions. And so we look at those things as saying, what are the tools that help? Well, here's one that helps, and the stock market's got it. So we can put that together with a bull that's got phenotype, he's got performance, he's got a strong pedigree, he comes from a very strong program. I fully expect to see stock markets sell right at the top of the Bieber sale this spring, and I think we'll see the same thing happening in other programs throughout the country in years to come. One of the bulls we're really excited about.
Yeah, I'm excited that he's a part of our lineup, and it's sure fun to answer questions on him. Continuing forward, we're going to move to Bieber Atomic, one of the calving ease bulls in our lineup. I'll let Brian talk about him.
Okay, and John, you know as much about this bull as I do, because he came into our program from the Accelerated Genetics program, and we merged several years ago. But we quickly learned that Atomic was a favorite of customers, and so his goodness has continued for several years. Actually, when some of the adjustments that came from Red Angus a couple 3 years ago, Atomic got better than he already was, and we learned more about him. So again, the calving ease component, the growth. But one of the things I really like about Atomic is just the way he's made. Here is a bull we call him a calving ease bull, and he's proven. But this is a powerful bull, and to take that much power and in a calving ease package for people that like cattle that perform, cattle that look good, cattle that have big rib, they're really sound, they got some agility, they look like they can live a long time. Atomic has basically proven that he can do those things, but he does it with calving ease, and I think that makes him pretty special.
Yeah, I think those sons were really well received on Bieber's last sale. I think that would have been one of the top selling sire groups in terms of the consistency that they offered, and they were did well at the marketplace. Moving on to our next bull to discuss, shifting gears a little bit from the calving ease to more of the power bulls in our lineup. I want to start off with one of the standby bulls, another bull out of the Bieber program named Spartacus. And I think for those of you that have used this bull, we call him Mr. Consistency. He does about the same thing every time in terms of the cattle that he sires. He's going to sire larger frame cattle. They're going to be extremely long-sided, yet they're very good from a foot quality standpoint and very good from a disposition standpoint. So I think if you're a Red Angus breeder looking to go in on not only a set of purebred, but a set of commercial Red Angus cows just to get performance and not have to give up the doability traits of maternal function, I think Spartacus does a really nice job, and he does it in a very consistent manner. The next bull that we want to discuss is one of the new and what I call exciting bulls to our lineup. We set out to acquire a Red Angus Power Bull, and we would have acquired in last March sales out of the Heffley program a bull called Heffley Grindstone. We went out and we were just looking for a bull with added phenotype in terms of muscle shape, length of body, just could add power to our lineup, and he did that. But at the same time, this new index came out called Pro S, and he hit the holes very well in that, ended up in the top 1% of the breed for us in the traits that he put together in Pro S, and he's actually generating a lot of interest from both purebred and commercial people that are looking for that Red Angus bull that will add performance and do it in a phenotype package. So I think I've already generated lots of questions from purebred people taking a look at him. So I think he's an exciting new addition. I was able to see the bull last week at the bull stud, and as a 2-year-old, he's held together super nice. You love the base width with the top, has extra length of hip in him, and I think is a bull that's just going to continue to get better and work his way through our program. With that kind of covers our Red Angus lineup, the highlight bulls for 2021. Again, we thank Harold from the Red Angus Association. We're truly excited about our Red Angus lineup. We think, again, in closing, that we have lots to offer, and looking forward to a good spring.